And welcome back, everybody, to the CBC podcast. I am, of course, your host, Armin. You guys can find me at Arminis and the CBC at Comic Book Cast. I'm here with Mitch.
What's up? You can follow me at Mitch692.
Also, Tristan.
Hey, you can catch me at Control Breakers.
You guys can, of course, catch us three on the previous podcast on Book the Ticket, which you guys can go check out, where we talk about the box office and all that for the previous couple of weeks. And this time, we're actually joined by Joe.
Yep, how's it going? You can follow me at Halftime Joe and all that box office, man. All that box office.
All the box offices. So
Unless you're Justice League, then no box office.
That's true. That's true.
Damn, starting off throwing shades. That's how we do it around here. Oh, well, I guess topic one is a go. Apparently, the big old concept of the bigger multiverse is going to be introduced to us in Ant-Man and the Wasp. How do you guys feel about that? Because
I think it's pretty crazy, to be honest. But
yep,
the smallest thing.
So, like, because we already know he goes like, what was it, subatomic they call it, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Subatomic into the quantum realm.
yeah, so we see what happens there, and honestly, that was pretty amazing looking. And we definitely see that there's elements of it that Doctor Strange touched upon. So the fact that they're going to further expand upon that, I think, gets me way more excited for some more insanity in the MCU. Like, just what can they do with that, and how far into the multiverse do they actually go? Because my feeling is they have to introduce the multiverse in such a way that by the time Thanos has all the stones in the Avengers 4, that it has to be kind of common knowledge on what they do. So it has to be pretty important, right?
I was wondering if they're ever going to acknowledge that the glove and the stones in Odin's room is fake. Like, I know Hela did it, but no one really knows that means, like, oh, that's because it's from another multiverse. Yeah. Like,
I mean, probably not. I think that they just you're never gonna hear any of that glove again. No, that's just fake. It's done.
Okay, because I mean, you could, like, if you introduce multiverse, you can have Thanos say a line like, "There's only the one set in the universe, and it won't work in another."
I think they're probably gonna go the route the comics are going, where there's just one set.
Yeah.
All around, like
across all multiverse.
Oh, so it's kind of okay. So like, whatever the multiverse is, the stones are like outside of it technically, where there's only one set. Okay,
they're a constant.
Yeah, see, I'd rather kind of have it that way, because that way they're always around,
it simplifies it.
Yeah, it very much simplifies it. And look, I'm down for multiverses in the movies in the MCU. You know, I love multiverses in comics, and we have them in the TV show with the DC TV. But the little difference is they don't highlight it too much. They only did it for one show, technically. I guess they're doing it for the crossover. That is a multiverse. So, but I'm just would be curious as to how they would pull it out in MCU, because it does seem like DC is more about the multiverses than Marvel. So that's why, like, it kind of feels common, like that. Oh yeah, the DC crossover. It's about like the Nazis from another universe are coming into it. But like for Marvel, yeah, you have like Ultimate Universe. But would that be a movie? Would the Ultimate Universe with Marvel's the Ultimate Universe?
Probably not.
If it was still alive, probably.
No, but like in the comics it's not, but like in the movies it could be. Like they could build out that.
The thing with that, the movies are kind of already based on the Ultimate, so
that's true. Well, I mean,
if you're gonna do something like what was the Hickman piss take of Justice League? They had that thing that was like, I think it was
I know what you're talking about.
I think it might have been the Squadron that they used for that, but it had like the Spectrum, like, which is effectively Green Lantern.
I would love a Squadron Supreme movie.
But I mean, they could build up to it. You don't know.
I mean, my feeling with the multiverse is Marvel. Everything they do, like, I don't know if people are watching like The Runaways or anything, but powers have consequences. Everything you do has a consequence that's pretty severe. So I feel like you're not going to get the CW DC-ification of a multiverse. Like, suddenly, we're not going to get to, like, Ant-Man and the Wasp, but then in Avengers 4, and Ant-Man's like, hold up, guys, I know what to do. Reaches into the multiverse. He's like, look, I brought 6 versions of Captain America. He's our doppelganger. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, that's
No, because there's a
Yeah.
modern take on it, whereas the DC TV goes straight wacky with it.
Yeah.
So there'd be a different kind of thing to it if they were to introduce multiverse. And plus, I know you say they're introducing it and all that, but do they really need to go that all out? Like, there's like bring in, they could do maybe an invasion type of thing, but it's from a different universe. That's kind of like the only thing I could see, because I don't think they'd go that route, like you're saying, like 6 versions of Cap, 6 versions of Bucky, all that. I just don't know if they'd want to highlight it. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think they need to anyways. Like, they have so many stories in the regular universe. Like, I don't even know how long the MCU is gonna last. So I don't know if we'll be at a point where they
got another 10 years planned.
You don't know how long it's gonna outlast me and my children. So
look, I'm not saying I'd love that, but I'm not saying I'm against that. But
at the movie theater.
We're all gonna. Well, you know what? Starting 2019, we're all gonna be rotting in movie theaters with how many movies are coming out every week. So it's.
I was about to say by 2019, there might be that thing where you have to buy movies in your house, or you can.
I was gonna say, like, fuck that, I'm getting the stuff from home.
Yeah.
There's that little box. I probably still would go watch it in the theaters, to be honest, because I love the Draft House. But
the theater experience is where it's at. Well, I mean, the thing that confuses me about the multiverse is you have to tread carefully, right? You have to be so careful with it. And I don't think Marvel puts in anything that they're not confident on and that's going to break their universe apart. Like, these guys go out of their way to explain what might be considered a little tiny problem where the competitors don't even care. They're just like, oh, we have problems everywhere. We're not going to bother them. But Marvel's like, no. We have to explain this one inconsistency. Like, they're that, like, crazy about it that I don't think they go insane with the multiverse to the point where they can't explain it,
Look, if they're introducing the multiverse, it could just be a backup type of thing, because if eventually they get the Fantastic Four, that's a way they could do it. And the Secret Wars where they have to get out of their Earth.
I think the Fantastic Four would be the way to, like, explore it more. Because I think, we've Ant-Man introduced it originally with the Quantum realm. Doctor Strange, we kind of saw a bit more of it, and then Ant-Man was probably going to expand on that a little bit more. But I don't think you're going to get anything like different to what we've had before, where it's like just like strange dimensions and all that sort of stuff. But,
I'm done with the Fantastic Four. We're back, and they're the ones who have to travel and explore, and you explain it in their movie type of thing. If they do introduce more of the multiverse in a sense where like you have different, like maybe Riri Iron Man is the one in another universe or whatever, since it's in the comics, but that's a way to do Secret Wars, because you'd bring those characters from that universe to here, and I'm assuming you wouldn't have Chris Evans, you wouldn't have Robert Downey Jr., you wouldn't have Chris Hemsworth type of thing, so you'd have to have like different, maybe younger versions of Iron Man, Cap, and Thor.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, you don't have to use Tony Stark, Steve Rogers.
Different versions.
You can do other people. Like, they don't have to be even related to what we know.
I know people hate it I say quote unquote hate it because I don't know if it's just the bubble that people hate or everybody hates it.
It's the bubble.
Okay, it's the bubble. But like, I mean, in the quote unquote Ultimate Universe, like, that's just an example of like having another universe type of movie. You could have Riri, you can have Sam be the Cap there, you can have Jane be the Thor there, and it's just that's how it was on Earth.
I mean, I could see the ultimate scene if they're crazy enough to actually jump into another multiverse, right? I could honestly see a clever little Easter egg that would make everybody flip out. We see like Scott, and he like runs into Spider-Man. He's like, "Oh, Peter, thank God I found you." He's like, "My name's Miles."
Yeah,
the crowd would freaking implode, and it'd be like, "No, that's all you need. You don't need to show who's under there." But like, just something like that to make people understand a simple way, I think would be the course of action for them to do, because I do feel that how much they're talking about the MCU in the future, where they say, oh, things are different. We're going to be visiting different realms, different universes. There's going to be like what you could consider a standalone film. I'm like, they're talking about the future of the MCU post Avengers 4 almost as in it's a fractured like reality almost. Like, It doesn't seem like they're saying you're not expecting what we're gonna do. So it could honestly be that everything drastically changes, and maybe they'll start making standalone movies as part of the MCU that are part of the multiverse, because that would honestly make sense. So there's a lot.
Look, man, it's basically turning into the comic industry in a sense where you might get like 10 Marvel movies, MCU movies to be specific, one in 5 years or something like that. And when I don't know if that would necessarily be a bad idea, because it's like we read a lot of comics anyways. What's the difference? It's, I guess, the money wise, like it'd probably be just.
I mean, if they're all different genres, it's kind of okay.
Well, that's not even the point. That the point is that there's gonna be a lot, and you can watch them all. Like everybody reads like a majority. Like there's some people who read all the Marvel comics. You know what I mean? It's not even the point of different genres or whatever. There's just gonna be a lot of them, and that'll. Like, I get excited by reading 6 comics. I've only watching like 3 Marvel movies a year. Like, why? If there's 6, I'm still gonna be excited as I was watching 3. Like. You know what I mean?
Well, next year, if you combine the Fox stuff, there's literally like 8 Marvel movies coming out. It's ridiculous.
I'm down with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty much what we're saying is the X-Men are going to be introduced into the MCU as part of the multiverse, because I'm segueing into our next story. So, yeah, let's talk about this, guys. We talked about this a little on Book the Ticket, where we actually talked about the logistics and some of the other franchises, but now we're here to actually talk about the big thing that happened. Disney, moments away from possibly buying Fox and all their media properties. So, likelihood of X-Men Fantastic Four being in the MCU within the next 3 to 4 years is really high at this point. And there's a lot of excitement, rightfully so, because people have been wanting this for as long as I can remember. And how do you guys feel about this?
Look, man, I know Disney's buying like not all of Fox. I think it's just
21st century.
Yeah, because like that would be kind of crazy if Disney was buying all of Fox, because that is a straight up monopoly type of thing.
Yeah, they're leaving the news and the sports.
Yeah, because that'd be really crazy. But if it's just 21st century, like, I mean, they're just trying to up their movie division type of thing, which, it happens in the Hollywood. Like, a lot of these companies go out, some never come back, some get bought out. Like, you just think it's weird because it's 21st Century Fox. It's like a big, like one of the bigger studios. So I'm down with it, just because I would love like the idea of like being kind of personal, or kind of like just having the X-Men. Like, I just want that idea. But I mean, they get like Alien, they get the Star Wars, they get everything else.
I mean, wouldn't you want to watch a Blu-ray cut of the original cut of the trilogy?
Yes.
It's kind of like I wasn't born around that time, so I don't necessarily care too much about it.
I mean, for me, it's not like that I need it, but as like one of these film a-holes that's like, oh, I want to see the originals. I just want them so I can have the originals. So if I feel the need, I can go back. Oh, look, I can see the floating potato in Return of the Jedi that they used as an asteroid. Like, I want that again, Like
I'm sure I'm the same way. Like, I'd want to see it just because I don't remember actually seeing like the original without.
That's because you probably didn't.
I probably didn't, to be honest. And I'd watch them, and I won't lie. I feel like if I do watch them, I'd be like, yeah, this is so outdated.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is gonna be so outdated.
I mean, they're updated with the digital updates. So.
I mean, they're a little bit less outdated.
They are.
Because the CGI was awful.
If you go back and watch like the Rancor scene in the original Star Wars cut, you could see the black outline around it. The special editions completely removed that, which is like, that would be a giant part of this merger. But like, when you go back to the whole merging thing, how do you? Because guaranteed Fox, once this happens, Fantastic Four will get a proper reboot, and it's going to be huge. The big thing would be, where are you going with the X-Men, and what do you do with these? Do you do what we just talked about in the previous discussion we had, where you multiverse the X-Men, then you go, hey, Hugh Jackman, if you really want to come back, we can multiverse you in here for like another team-up movie, and that's cool, and we'll give you a suit finally? Or do they do a Spider-Man and a clear-cut reboot? Because I feel like X-Men could stand on their own and never be part of the MCU, and I would be okay with it. But I feel like if Marvel was to reboot it, they would finally give me the X-Men that I want, which is like the proper suits and a young team and all that.
You'd get those X-Men regardless if they're in there or not, because it'll be under Marvel doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What I wonder is, what do you do with Deadpool, Logan, and New Mutants? Like, do you count that as like canon, or would it be like, no, that was Fox, we're just rebooting it all together, like those are other movies?
I don't think you really got to worry about Logan, because that's just a one-off.
Well, Deadpool, you could bring in. Yeah. You can still bring in Ryan Reynolds, I assume, right? Like, even though his movies.
I think Deadpool and New Mutants are the only two you could drag in, and have it kind of make sense.
Honestly, you could see like Deadpool 2 is going to come out. Let's say by the time this deal materializes, they're already shooting X-Force, right? Which they will be, and suddenly Disney steps in, like, okay, how do we do this? You could legit see an opening where Deadpool's like, so I was in a convoluted timeline, but the big overlord bought me. Check it out. Disney comes in, they do a little animation of like Mickey paying a Fox or something for money. And he suddenly goes, so now we're in their universe. Go with it. And people would be like, ha ha ha, that's clever, sweet. Like, I think, honestly,
you have the opportunity with Deadpool to do stuff like that.
And honestly, he could just be like, oh yeah, and we're here because of the multiverse. Go see Ant-Man 2 to understand what that is. Simple plug. It's a Deadpool way to do it, and it would make sense. Like, Deadpool gives them that opportunity where they can merge and do whatever they want, and it wouldn't be a problem. So,
well, I would love they're probably gonna do something like that. They won't do exactly that, because that's like they don't even do that for X-Men right now. But that sounds cool. Like, hey, go see Ant-Man 2. Like, that just sounds cool to, like, if Deadpool were to say that. But they'll do something like that. I don't think they'll say, hey, go see Ant-Man 2. But it'll be something similar where it's gonna make you want to go see the other movies that maybe you haven't seen. You know what I mean? So, but look, I'd assume you have to do 2 multiverses if you get all of them, because you have to do one for X-Men and one for Fantastic Four, because.
No, because it's all part of one multiverse.
Well, true.
I mean,
you could do a different universe, but it's still in the multiverse.
I got it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Did I say different multiverse? I meant different.
He said 2 multiverses.
The great way to do it is
like,
like,
we're not doing DC Metal, Joe. Like, calm down.
I love DC Metal, though.
I mean, the best way to do it is like after Avengers 4, they're like, all right, we need to take these Infinity Stones and separate them so they can never be put together again by anybody. Doctor Strange is like, hold up a second, opens up a portal, and there's Professor X waiting. And he's like, here you go, Charles. It's like, we would all bust a nut. We would all bust a nut.
One way to like upgrade the Illuminati is have it use like multiverse.
Multiverse, exactly.
So you just keep the X-Men in their own thing. You keep the Fantastic Four in their own thing. You just give them a stone each.
Are we going?
You bring them in at certain points.
Are we going young, like very young, and all these, so that we can have them for the future?
Oh, totally.
Like, cast. Hugh Jackman will be the only one that's not the youngest, but that's okay because you don't necessarily need Wolverine. We just need Hugh Jackman for one time, real quick.
I don't want a young Fantastic Four again.
No. I meant like all around.
I'm all like 25, 30-year-old tops for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because the Fan4Stick one felt like 20, like they're 18 to 20 for some reason. I would love a quote-unquote origin story, but I feel like Marvel won't do origin stories again because like there's that whole stigma basis.
We get an origin story with Captain Marvel and Black Panther, no doubt.
Like I said when I made my old video, I would love it if Fantastic Four was legitimately a period piece in the 60s. Like, just do that.
You could. Like, they explore the multiverse, have them in the 60s in a different multiverse, and say it's getting destroyed by Galactus, and they end up being stuck in ours. Done.
Yep.
I'd also want a very good Doom.
Oh.
You know, like a Doom good origin. Like, I mean, that'd probably have to be his own movie, but at the same time, I think maybe you could do his origin in the Fantastic Four movie while also not having him be the bad guy. Like, I don't need him to be the bad guy again.
Fantastic Four is one of those movies where you don't need a bad guy. Or
if you do every movie needs a bad guy.
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah, because
I really don't think you do with Fantastic Four. If you're gonna
Marvel movie that doesn't have a bad guy.
Well, I'm not saying that. That's not my point. Like at all. I'm saying you don't need one for the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four isn't Iron Man.
Yeah, but you're gonna get one anyways.
Well, yeah, you're probably gonna get one. But I'm saying you don't need one for them.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
If you're gonna have one, don't do Doom. Do Annihilus. Let's not do Doom for a 4th fucking time.
Yep.
We've had enough.
I would hope they don't. Yeah.
Just do Annihilus or someone.
Have them be side by side with Reed. Why can't they be friends? They are friends, or they were friends in the comics. Like
that's been every movie so far. Like, let's just just keep away from Doom for a little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
I say bring in Doom. Just don't have him be the bad guy. Just have him be because I need to see Doom done right.
I mean, everyone needs to see Doom done right. Like,
Yeah, I think you could bring him into the first one and have him be like that. Just don't have him turn bad.
It's not even like only does Doom need it. With Marvel doing such a cosmic expansion, can you imagine how beautiful like a Silver Surfer movie would be, where you spend like half an hour seeing him with his family, and then it gets attacked, and he has to literally like give up his soul, like to protect his family and children. Like that would be so good. And by the time that movie ends, you're like, so yeah, Surfer now, he's a bad guy, but he's not though. Like I understand why he's doing this. So when he's facing the Fantastic Four or the MCU inevitably, you're like, I don't want to see him die though. Like I think Surfer could probably be a trilogy on his own that leads into more. And
100%.
It's
you set Surfer up for like the Annihilators.
Oh my god.
We're definitely taking this as too comic-y. I think there's gotta
See, I don't think that's.
No. I don't think Silver Surfer is a bad idea or too comic-y to do. I think he could definitely do. I just don't know if he get his own trilogy in that sense. I know he probably deserves it.
100% he can get his own trilogy.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I know.
totally.
He probably can't pull out a trilogy. I know he deserves it because he is that big of a character and this and that. And I just don't know if he'd get it, to be honest.
Look, if the Guardians of the fucking Galaxy got a trilogy, the Silver Surfer's going to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
100%.
It's just weird because then there's so many Marvel characters. Like if X-Men, if it has 4, right? I think they'd probably push those first before Silver Surfer for some reason. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they won't do Silver Surfer, which is like I want them to do it, but
They would.
I don't know if they will. There's some reason in the back of my mind thinking that they won't because it is still movies and it is still Hollywood.
But he's too big of a character not to do it.
Yeah, but they need to do the Marvel's Runaway film.
Yeah, but then Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
I think once they showed they could do like,
but they didn't.
They showed they could do Guardians and Ant-Man. I think Surfer's more known than either of those ever was. So it's like,
I don't know. See, my thing isn't like I know it sounds like I'm on the opposite side, but my thing isn't that they don't know how to do it, that they can't do it. I definitely think they would be able to do one, be a really good one. There's just a feeling in the back of my mind that they won't do it for some reason. I don't know why. That's the one movie I think they won't do. I think they'll do everything else.
The way they're going now, especially if they're going more cosmic, you'd be an idiot not to do a Silver Surfer movie.
See, for some reason,
he literally surfs around the universe. Why would you not do that movie? You're expanding outwards into that.
I would love that. But there's some reason I think he'll be in someone else's movie for some reason.
You try to compare it to the Runaways, but the Runaways is not the Silver Surfer.
I hope y'all are right. I really hope y'all are right because I have this feeling that's the one character that they won't do that they'll put in someone else's movie.
I mean, here's the thing. When Kevin Feige, before Marvel Studios ever started, he worked with Fox and Sony. He was the one that was pushing for a standalone Silver Surfer. Like, he was the one that was like, no, Doug Jones, man, that's going to be our Surfer. Like, so I think Kevin Feige wants it, and if he wants it, it's going to exist. Like, there's no question about it. So, like...
Here's hoping. I just really would love to see that.
Can we get it done by Gunn? Maybe not make it as jokey as the Guardians, but I think he's got, like... Or even like a Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Just get one...
Because that would be way too jokey then. Because Taika is way more jokey than.
I wouldn't say he's more. It's a different brand of humor. I just think he's funnier than Gunn.
No, I definitely think he's more jokey than Gunn.
Guardians 2 had far more jokes in it than Ragnarok.
He's funnier, yeah. Taika is funnier than James Gunn, or at least his movies, not the people. But I don't know. There's just like it would be jokier. I don't see how you can.
Well, there wasn't anywhere near as many jokes in Ragnarok as there was in Guardians 2.
I don't know. I feel like every line was a joke.
Yeah, in Guardians 2, but not in Ragnarok.
No, in Ragnarok.
No.
I feel like every line, like I literally couldn't stop laughing. Like every line was a joke. Like,
so Thor like praying about his dad's a joke.
Yeah, because like Loki came in and he threw the rock, and I was
but
like,
that's after that line.
Yeah, all that.
Like,
I feel like it was all just joke. Okay, yeah. I don't know, he seems way joker.
Guardians to me, the Guardians 2 was a cartoon at moments.
Oh,
like it was like Scooby Doo. I was like, what am I even watching anymore? Oh.
Guardians 2, was it? No, well, Joss Whedon does the same thing where they just put in too many jokes. Like him and James Gunn just like.
Joss Whedon tries to be quippy. Like
Well-
Gunn goes for the joke.
Well, we're Gunn like in Whedon, like where they have this epic thing, right? And then it's supposed to be maybe emotional too. They just add in a joke and like with Guardians 2 and Justice League, and it just feels unnecessary.
Yeah, but that's the basics of storytelling, Joe.
Yeah, no, but it just felt unnecessary
Yeah, but
because
that's the basics of storytelling.
it was a joke too much.
You know, you look at the theater marks. What one's happy, the other one's what?
Yeah,
Sad.
but I'm just saying that in those two specific movies, they just did too much. Like the jokes, like there were some jokes that were fine, but I think we said it before how Guardians 2 was just a joke too much type of thing.
Guardians 2 got silly. That was his problem.
Well, yeah, it was the joke too much.
Yeah, but a joke doesn't mean silly.
Oh, to me, that
Like, they're
joke
too
too much.
much.
I
It
think
depends on how you handle it, I guess, the situation. Like when their
You know-
faces are morphing and they're jumping through stuff,
Yeah,
I was like,
like-
what is even happening?
like, come on, when they're doing the whole
silly. That's
when they're-
too silly.
when
So-
they do the Pac-Man thing at the very end, like
yeah.
I mean, I
That-
get it.
That's joke
I-
too far.
Yeah,
Then-
that's like
Well, let me ask you guys a question this way. If the X-Men and like all this gets rebooted, which they probably will, what tone do you take with it? Because I feel like Fantastic Four would have to be more of a jokey tone. Doctor Doom would have to be a semi-serious movie. Galactus, I mean, he's eating worlds, so that's kind of got to be serious, right? Like, it's weird how they'd have to balance it all
they'll all
out.
be kind of the same tone, kind of anyways, and that's not a knock because like that. I mean, if it works, you know, what works. I feel like it'll all be the same tone it is now. I think the only ones that are not really in that same tone are maybe Winter Soldier and Civil War. I feel like those are the only movies that are not.
I mean, Iron Man 3 is not the same tone as Guardians.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Neither's,
yeah.
neither's Ant-Man. Black Panther's
No,
not
I
like
think they're all. I think they're all same. The Marvel tone in a sense.
That's
I just think maybe Winter Soldier is probably above that in a way, and I don't say that as a bad way. It sounds like I'm saying that in a bad way, but I just feel like it's all
they've
going
all,
to be
they've
the
all
more.
got that distinctive tone.
I think they got distinctive like attributes, like in terms of what they want to try to do. Like Spider-Man: Homecoming was getting the low level type of thing. Iron Man 3 was
No, so
very.
you're telling me that Spider-Man: Homecoming's got the same tone as Thor: The Dark World.
I think they're all kind of funny.
Dark World, funny
That's-
too.
Well, I mean, I
Super
thought it
serious.
was kind of. What do you mean?
Serious.
There's
That's
literally
why Ragnarok's funny because they were too serious with it.
no. Thor 1 and Thor 2 were funny. They literally are even mention of the same thing of how they were supposed to be the comedy. I was like,
What? Name me one joke in Thor: The Dark World.
see, I laughed at the meme like
I said a joke. That's
that's
what she
just, oh, and also the cap thing, and then when they're in the ship, like type of stuff, like with Loki. It is the one not funny part of that movie is the funeral because that was a great scene.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty
Funeral
good.
was a really great scene, but other than that, like I felt Thor 2 was like very like.
I actually forgot
I
about
thought the
every
humor
single
was like crap because they forced it in there. Like
Yeah. But they
Yeah.
tried to be comedic. It definitely
they
was,
tried.
like subpar humor, but
well,
they did.
fell
try.
flat on their face in Thor: The Dark World, where Ragnarok has a completely different tone to it and how they handle it, so it felt more appropriate. Like,
I still like. There's
They don't have all the same tone. You're thinking of something completely different. It's
no
not-
to me there is like a Marvel tone type of thing, and that's not even a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I'm not saying you are saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying
I know.
like what
I
you're
know
thinking-
some people will probably think that I'm saying it's a bad thing, but I
think everything, don't they?
that's
Like,
true. But
I think you're thinking of something else and it's not tone. To be perfectly honest.
I feel like I am watching a Marvel movie every time. Like I know what's I'm gonna get. It's the tone for me.
Yeah, they're all different tones.
I just to me I think it's all kind of the same tone, and I'm down with that because like it'll just be like that whole they'll have an emotional story. It's lighthearted. There's jokes. There'll maybe be one serious moment, and then bad guys, always bad guys. So I just like that's what I assume Fantastic Four and X-Men will kind of be like similar to. It'll be a
that's
Marvel
what
movie.
they are now. If you're going to break it down to that.
Yeah, but it'll be a
True.
Marvel movie. It'll have
the Marvel, it'll have the entertaining factor, but also give you a few laughs and everything like that, which,
Yeah, it'll
I get-
be the Marvel.
I mean, why not? If that's what we're getting, then
Yeah,
if it's
I-
worked
yeah, that's
so
what I-
far, then why the hell not, I'll take it.
That's. I mean, yeah. You had asked like, what kind of feel would we get? I feel like
Right.
it'll just be a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And which okay, like then we could get like more stuff with it, and there you go. Like
So, we're here. We're going to all discuss the Avengers Infinity War trailer, which was a long time coming. We can finally talk about it. It's a trailer that's huge in scope. Like, there's a lot of elements in play in this one, and
Was it huge in scope?
0 out of 10 for no planets being thrown. I heard there was a planet supposed to be thrown.
Moon, actually.
I didn't see the leaks, so I wanted to wait till.
I mean, it's on Pornhub. You can watch it.
yeah.
That's
But
not even a joke, actually.
I did not see a planet be thrown, so I'm kind of disappointed. And
So-
other than that, I'm a little bit with Mitch, and like it didn't show too much, which I'm okay with.
Well, I mean, to me, it's a teaser trailer, and I think it teased way more than, like, remember Age of Ultron? They teased Vision's eyes opening. Like, they show more in this one than I think they did in those, because they show you the new aliens. They show you the invasion of Wakanda. They show you what I assume is Xandar Prime being, like, in ruins. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this one. What it lacks on is actual story, but they're saving that for an actual trailer.
No, I don't know. I think
don't-
this one was all story.
Really?
I just don't think it had the scope of the movie.
I kind of had the story of it too in a way, but also I just think if this is a teaser, like clearly Hollywood is like doesn't know what a teaser is. A teaser is 5 seconds.
I think they skipped over the teaser.
Yeah, this is a trailer. I mean, it legit says trailer, and I know sometimes we think just because it says trailer, it could be a teaser. But
You know, the teaser was yesterday or
Yeah.
Tuesday with all the reaction stuff.
I agree with that. I think this is their actual first official trailer, and I'm just gonna go off what they actually have on like the Marvel Entertainment video title. It says official trailer. So, but I agree. Like the whole story is that these heroes are gonna learn how to learn to lose in a sense. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna finally feel like, even though they kind of lost before, I don't know what Thanos means by that. They've kind of lost already. Like, you know what I mean?
Is he talking to them at that point, or is he talking to like Nova Prime?
I'm assuming he's talking to Nova. Like,
Yeah, because I was like, the Avengers have lost. Like, I don't see lost a lot, and just disappointed. There's no planets to be thrown because I wanted to see that, but
That's my only criticism, really. It's like, it's not a bad trailer. I loved it. I just don't think they conveyed the scale of it properly. Like, if you had that one shot with the planet at the end, perfect. Like, as it stands, it kind of looks like the other two.
so I really like when Thanos just like knocks out punch Iron Man though.
I don't. That hurt me right in my heart.
So,
That hurt.
okay, I want to play the guy that really loves this trailer because we know we're going to get at least 2 more trailers and a final one in the next 5 months. That
I'm
puts
sure
it on...
I get that argument like completely. Like, yes, it's only the first one. There's going to be stuff down the road. But, as you said, like, the first thing for Age of Ultron had the eyes with Vision. Yes.
Oh, you're
this one
talking about
had...
like that pop, that pow, we got
Yeah,
y'all.
like, we had, like, for the most part, this trailer really is like, look at these massive moments, these massive things happening. Like, I just think it needed that one bit, because at the minute Thanos just looks like a big guy who can punch people really hard.
That's very
Like,
true.
Show us what the fucking gauntlet can do.
And we know they've showed us.
Honestly, I really think they're trying to save that for the next trailer, which that's the one that more people are going to like also be aware of, because once the first official one comes out, like, the one before Black Panther, because that's guaranteed when the next one is coming.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that's going to be attached to everything from that moment all the way to the release of the movie. The second and third one are always the ones that are online, but they're never shown in the theater. So I think that one is going to feature like the, oh my God, look at what that dude is doing. But I think this one was more intended to just like, look, it's coming. Here's a holdover. Look at our victory lap with this movie, right? Like, I think that's literally what they were doing with this one.
Look,
I mean, I 100% get it. It's just kind of, I just want that. I just wanted to see that one moment from that league.
I think me and Mitch are on the same page of like, yeah, that moment would have been like, that's the one missing moment. But other than that, like when you look at it, it's like, oh my God, there's War Machine. He's with Black Panther. Oh my God, the Vision. They're taking his stones. Oh my God, Thanos has like, it's kind of like that fanboy that comes out in you because these things are coming to life in a sense. So you have like Thanos having 2 Infinity Stones. It's like, man, I remember that when that was just in the comic. Like, so there is many of those moments that, like, I'm sure people are saying on Twitter, like, their favorite moments, like, oh, man, when Thor's meeting the Guardians and stuff like that, like, it's comics become reality type of sense. But there isn't that damn, this is what Thanos does? Like, shit, what? He's a
Yeah.
freaking crazy villain. Right now, he's just crossed through a portal and he's knocked out Iron Man, which, you know, I'm all for because Iron Man was wrong.
Like, I know it kind of sounds like me and Joe being down on it, but I think it's more.
I love
It's
it.
a case of you got to look at it from point of view like we want to see more, and I think that's the problem. Is that I just wanted to see more. And
To be fair, if we saw more, it wouldn't be in the movie because
if
of
I saw
reshoots.
more, I would have complained that I saw too much. And I'm
No, well, let's be honest. Like every movie has had the same thing now. It went from not showing you anything in the trailers to showing you something and not being in the movies.
You say that. Go back and watch the Iron Man 1 trailer. It shows you the entire movie.
I mean, that's true. Okay, so it went from not showing you everything to not showing you anything to now showing you everything, but it's not in the movie.
Well, that's only Justice League.
Well,
Right?
Thor.
Well, that was more of Thor. Like, it was just different.
No, it wasn't in the movie.
Well,
Like,
I
I
mean-
was literally waiting for that one moment where they were all together, and then it wasn't in the movie. I was
right,
like,
that one moment.
Well, also
I
when you
feel
look at
very-
like this trailer, they do not show us anything of the Guardians besides that like last second. Thor is very limited. Like there's a lot that because this is a movie that's going to be like what 2 hours and 30 minutes is the rumor runtime.
It's the
So
longest.
I wanted to be
Yeah.
3 hours.
there's a lot of stuff that they're not even willing to put up there because it's like, well, we can't show you everything. Like if they had to show us what the Guardians were fully up to and what Thor's kind of story was, not just, hey, look, we got to defend Earth, I think this trailer would have added like another whole minute onto it, which honestly I don't think they can afford that right now. So
No.
I really
No.
wish it was another 30 minutes, though. That's just me, though.
Yeah, but you're never going to get that.
Yeah, I know, because we're going to get another 2.5 hour movie anyway. So
I
it's
mean,
like,
there's that, but you wouldn't get that either way. So
yeah, I know. It's like logistics and all that. But I just, you know, whatever. I just wanted it. But when do we think that action scene is going to be in I think Wakanda.
what, the big Return of the King thing?
Yeah.
Wakanda.
Is it the middle?
That's why I want to know, because this
It's not the
trailer
beginning.
feels like a third act.
Yeah, and it feels like, especially with what we've seen recently, it feels like they always show the third act more than they do the first two for some reason.
okay, so
I don't know why.
I'm feeling different about that scene. I'm feeling that simultaneously we're gonna see like the opening with like Proxima Midnight, Captain America comes out of shadows, yada yada, and then we're gonna see Invasion of New York, and while that's happening, Wakanda gets attacked at the same time. So we're gonna kind of like go between the two within about a half hour.
Oh,
then all of them are
finally.
like, whoa, wait, we gotta work together again. Why? This dude's gone to Xandar and he's gonna get all these other stones. They're like, well, let's space up and go. So I feel like the entire third act is gonna be in that burning planet, which is definitely gonna be Xandar or something new because he gets the power stone. He's got to rip it out of this,
I was
Nova's
going to say
dead
he's
hands.
got to have been to Xandar at the start
Yeah.
anyway. 'Cause he arrives on Earth with the Power Stone. He then puts the space one in it.
Yep.
Yeah, man, fun, like the way you described it of how it's gonna go back and forth between New York and Wakanda in that sense of them fighting whatever monsters are out there. It's what I wanted in Age of Ultron. I thought I was gonna get it where Ultron was gonna go around the world and they were gonna be around the world like Cap and Winter's Falcon
they
and Black
did
Widow.
go around the world.
No, but like at the same time, where like maybe in Sokovia it would have been Iron Man and Hulk.
You wanted the vignette style where it's like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit.
Yeah, because like
Which
that's
is
what it
what
made
they've
it
said
seem
is-
out to be.
Yeah, which is what they said this one's going to be. It's very
Okay, 'cause
much going to be a vignette.
That makes sense because like not every time a villain approaches Earth, they're gonna be always in one place. Like there's gonna be multiple places that are getting attacked. You know what I mean?
Well, this is the first time that they've really had the chance to do that.
No, I think Ultron could have done it. I definitely think he could have said
No, because I think Ultron happened too quickly, and his plan wasn't to go around the world. He just had the one thing of.
I definitely, but it could have just
No.
been a thing. We're gonna take over the world, like all around the world.
His thing wasn't to take over it. He wanted to wipe out life. So why would you go all over it?
Yeah, well, life is the Earth.
Yeah, but that's why he was dropping a thing from one spot.
Yeah, and it was gonna be like one spot of Earth. I just thought it could have worked the whole Earth, and I thought it was gonna get it based off the trailer. And it's kind of what I've been waiting for.
If his plan was different in that movie, you could have had that. But what they did, you couldn't.
I think
Like, it's the same with like the first Avengers. You had the one central point. You couldn't have had that point with like the portal and then it open up in Australia. That wouldn't have made sense. But I think
don't
with
know,
this one, where it is that big, you can and you will get that.
I think
So
I don't know.
guarantee
I thought
get
you
a
could have.
Spider-Man table on it.
I definitely thought you could have made it work in Ultron. In Avengers, you couldn't because like there's the whole New York and
Yeah.
like, they contained it and whatever. Like that made
Well-
sense. They actually say they contained it, but Ultron, I feel like you could have maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it just kind of strikes me as interesting if Ultron is in like New York doing all that battle, then he's probably set his sons and daughters to do other attacks. So it's like they're all over the place trying to more or less attack at once and split everybody up, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that's.
you know,
I feel like it could have happened in my opinion. I don't know.
I mean, like even from this trailer, like you do get the sense that it's going to be jumping up, like not.
oh yeah.
It's going
I
to be
hope
like different
so.
locations. You know, you've got like there's Proxima and there's Corvus together. It looks
No,
to
no,
me
but
like,
at the
you
same
know,
time though, because like I thought that in Age of Ultron trailer where I thought, oh, they're gonna be in different places at the
Well,
same
of course,
time.
it's going to be the same. Why would they have? Why would Thanos have like a group of 5?
I thought
and
that was
send them
gonna
to
be in
one
Age of
spot?
Ultron where they were gonna be at the same time, but it didn't
But
happen. So hopefully
Ultron's
this
one
happens
villain.
here.
There's not 6 in that movie. There's
Yeah,
6.
this one definitely seems more like a separate them and attack at their weakest,
I
because
hope
if they
so.
come together, they're too strong.
No,
so
because they showed in this trailer that there's different points. Whether they're at the same time or not, I don't know. But you know,
Yeah.
you had Ebony Moore walking over bodies, whether it's as Guardians or Sorcerers, I don't know. But you
Yeah.
had Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight going for Vision. You know, you're
Yeah.
clearly going to have Black Dwarf or what's his name they call him now, Obsidian Cole,
yeah.
go after Wakanda. So
Oh, totally.
I just hope like one of these fights is at the same time as another, in a sense. Like Armin was saying, what if the
I
Wakanda
feel it
fight
will be.
would all of them will at the same time as like
'Cause,
a fight in
I
New
mean,
York? Because I just would love to go back
Here's
and
the
forth.
way I look at it. If you're going to have like 4 or 5 action scenes, which this movie looks like it's going to, you can't have 4 or 5 independent action scenes between
Yeah.
all this. So at least at some point, 2 scenes are going to have to intertwine in some way. And to me, it makes the most sense that it's the invasion when I watch that trailer. Now, with the rest of the trailer, I feel like definitely when they start going up in space, that's when things are going to get interesting, because I think the way the trailer is cut, we think Spidey's using that Iron Spider suit right after he sees it, but I feel
Yeah,
like that's
probably
probably him in space. Like,
Yeah.
why?
See, I don't know. I think he's going to wear that to go in through that portal, whatever the fuck it is. I think it's got to be a portal, surely.
Yeah,
right?
of course, it's a Stargate. That's
You
what
know,
I'm calling
because,
it.
like, you know, let's look at the roster they have in Wakanda. Who's missing from that lineup? And if you look at the leaked footage, you can tell that the rest are going to be on that dust planet or whatever it is.
Yep.
So on Wakanda, it's Hulk, Black Panther, Cap, Widow, Bucky, and War Machine. Which
And
good thing he did good in rehab, so he's able to fight.
And Falcon. Don't forget Falcon.
Where's Falcon?
He's right on the opposite side to.
There he is.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him. He's really like.
He's really far back for some strange
Now,
reason.
Also,
Just like-
I do want to remind everybody that's listening to this, there is a very strong possibility, because Marvel does this all the time, that many of these scenes have been edited. For all we know, Thanos' gloves could have an extra Infinity Stone in there ripped out of Vision's head that they just edited out to, take away the spoiler. For all
Dead
we
in
know,
Civil War?
there could be someone else running alongside Captain America. They've been completely removed.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
always that possibility. So we're not saying it's guaranteed, but,
Still can't believe they actually did that in Civil War. Like that's a crazy like technique to do or whatever thing to do, and they did it and it worked.
reshoot and re-edit a complete scene. Yeah, that's how they do it.
Damn. But man, like I feel like to me, I guess Mitch is right. There's not a sense of like what Thanos like the whole planet thing, but to me, the things that stand out the most, and it's like what made me pop was first of all what he said, and get this man a shield. I was like, oh yeah, get that man a
Also,
shield.
Speaking of that shield, did anyone notice that he's clearly holding the Spencer's Run shield?
No, that's
But
like,
Wakanda, like when you
They
see
went
him
to
running, he's got things on his arms that look like how the Spencers.
Yep.
run
I was so excited when I saw that. I was like, like, I
Yeah.
can't wait. I need that. I literally need that in the movie because I love that shield. So.
And real quick though, we're not acknowledging the fact that the beginning is kind of a flex, where it's like there was an idea, and then they all like it's the voiceover that Samuel Jackson had, and
See, a lot of people are speculating. Does that mean that STEM actually saying it to like the new Avengers?
no, I think that's just trailer talk, but I
Same.
mean that'd be cool if it was saying it in the event, but I just
To
never
me,
think
it's
it's trailer
too
talk.
early. Why would you have that line in this movie when you got Avengers 4?
Yeah,
Because people
exactly.
seem to forget about Avengers 4. It's like this is happening. This is a continuation of
Yeah,
this movie.
People are
It's just
making
a
a big
flex.
deal out of Infinity War, but Infinity War is setting the stage for Avengers 4, which is going to make this trailer and this movie look like small time. So
Yeah.
it's...
Because he's going to have the full gauntlet in that movie. This one is only going to have 3.
Oh, man.
I'm excited though. May 4th. How long is that? 5 months. Ooh.
April 26th for me. So.
Boo!
Well, you know what? We don't acknowledge anything outside of the States.
You will when I spoil it.
That's okay. I don't mind a spoiler, so
I
it's all
do.
good.
I'm gonna be off the internet for a week.
I'll send a pigeon.
I'm just gonna go watch Coco and until Infinity War comes out. Like just every week, nothing but Coco.
Okay.
Even when
His
it's not
Mexican
on.
origin story.
I thought you.
Yeah. Some when I went to go see Justice League, it was right there. Like they're like, hey, that looks like exactly like you, and it kind of does because I grew up my hair and I shaved, so it's like it actually might have kind of. And Mitch said he didn't want to say because I don't know why, but now he's like, yeah, it does.
Nice. So yeah, you guys should all go see Coco. Let's all get excited for Infinity War. That's the discussion. That is the discussion.
It's actually on the Friday.
Yeah.
April 26th is the important.
We're all excited for Infinity War. It's gonna be huge. Can't wait. Hopefully it's a movie that we all want, and it's a movie that delivers what we're all expecting. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. We only had 3 topics, but each one we discussed in quite good length. So, you know, I'm hopeful you guys enjoyed it. So we'll be back next week, and hopefully you guys enjoy that podcast as well. Although it probably won't be this good, because, you know, we'll have to be scraping the barrel for news again. But yeah.
They're the best ones.
Well, yeah, always crap shows.